Good afternoon, Tony Datino. My goodness, the day is flying by, and it's a weekend for Memorial Day to celebrate the men and women that have sacrificed their lives for us and the freedoms that we have in our country. And sometimes I just wish we would remember those things and the reasons for this holiday more than running out and finding Memorial Day sales. But back to our Harvard Health letter, which was really interesting about the benefits of walking with friends. And of course, we've talked about the benefits of walking and movement and the benefits that it gives us to our mental health and our memories. And this article really spelled it out even better. It really talked about some of the details in terms of what physically happens to us as we do this. And I really wanted to share these. As I read this today, it came in yesterday's mail, and this was my morning reading. It was really a fabulous article. So let's go. There's an old saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. An example of this is exercising and the kind your heart and lungs, a workout that boosts your health. It's easy to do with family and or friends, and let's try a team approach to doing it. So right off the bat, it was interesting. I do see people in our neighborhood walking together with their spouses, friends, with their dogs. But here's a good explanation for the benefits that it has, which I really had never focused on or thought about. So going for a brisk walk with one or more friends is a form of socializing, which is essential for good health. So we've been talking and talking. I've been doing Live with Tony's about socialization, and it's imperative and seeing it over and over again in the academy that I observe and participate in at times. And so I think we've kind of really covered the importance of socialization. But here's the way this really got connected that really got me excited to want to do my Live with Tony on this today. Socializing helps stave off isolation and loneliness. That we've known. We've talked about that. However, it also is associated with heart disease, reducing, so doing these things, it helps you with heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, depression, certainly, chronic stress, and even premature death. So the list goes on, and it also connects to our mental well-being. Socializing, though, helps exercise the brain, which provokes thinking skills. Well, that's interesting, right? Socializing helps exercise the brain, which protects your thinking skills. When you socialize, your brain interprets. So now here comes some really great stuff. So your brain interprets facial expressions. So if you're socializing, I always tell people, put your cell phones down. Pay attention to the people you're talking with, eye-to-eye contact. How often have we heard that? I've seen it in the hospital work I've done for years. When people talk about they treated me with respect, they looked at me face to face. I could see their eyes. I could see their facial expressions. So your brain has to interpret people's facial expressions. In our USA Memory Championship, we have an event called Names and Faces. You have to focus on people's faces. So you have to interpret their facial expression. In talking to them, what else do you need to do? You're listening to their tone of voice. So our brain is actively engaged. I had never thought about some of these things, about the benefits of socialization. So you're listening to their tone of voice, which then is helping you to determine what emotional interaction they're having. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they just being reflective? Are they being excited? So what are their emotions? So now you're looking at their face, you're listening to their voice, you're interpreting their emotional response, and their body language. So think about all of the mental activities that you're engaged in as you're socializing and as you're walking along. Is somebody tired? Are they huffing and puffing? Are they walking at the right pace? Can they still walk and talk? Which, when I'm doing my running, I'm certainly not going to be socializing very much because I'm having enough to push myself to get the intensity up. But to stop and walk, I love to do walking and talking. When Evelyn and I go out for walks around the park and things, we just can walk and talk and just love it and never thinking about all of the different impacts it's having on our speech, our emotions, our body language, and then the powers of your reaction. Now, what does that mean? Well, you've got to turn your thoughts. So now you're watching somebody, and you've got to take and process your thoughts into words. How you're responding is your facial expression, and then how do your body movements respond? The extra effort from socializing, even if you are unaware of it, promotes brain cell connections, which keep your thinking and your memories sharp. This is by far the best article that I have read that really connects two essential ingredients for long-term mental health. One being obviously the oxygen that we're breathing in and how it's being used in our brain, but then the connectivity. We've listened more and more about connectivity and the importance of connectivity to our mental health as well. This just breaks it down. So the facing, the hearing, the body language, the interpretation, the responding. The physical work of a walk stimulates the growth of new brain cells. Now, this has been interesting. I haven't read that much about that, but the physical work of a walk stimulates the growth of new brain cells. So when you socialize while you walk, you're getting a multiple dose of health benefits for mental fitness. And this goes on, as well as stretching those muscles out and things like that. So, what are some of the other things? Well, it gets you on a schedule. You get to have an exercise. You have somebody that you're going to be accountable with, that when we tell them we're going to go out and take a walk with them, we're going to go out and take a walk with them. I know in New York, Evelyn has a neighbor that walks her dog and calls Evelyn up, and she's quick to get out and go do the walk with her neighbor and the dog. So they go out and dog walk together and socialize in the process. Wait till I tell her about all the benefits that she's getting from that. My goodness, their friends have expectations that when you tell them you're going to go out and walk with them, whether it's a certain time each day or every other day, there are some benefits that they're going to have. So they want to be able to be supportive and accountable. It gives you motivation. When you walk with someone else, you challenge and encourage each other. Imagine if you hit a wall, but other people around you are still there to help and coach and bring you forward. So you say, God, this is getting tiring. Now, there are times when I'm walking with someone and I say, okay, I think we've gone long enough in one direction. It may be time to come back in the other. It's not the worst thing in the world to get to the point where as you're walking, you reach a point where you say, God, this has been really good. And I've gotten to the point of not exhaustion, but a little bit of being a little tired. Walking with a buddy is safer than obviously walking alone. Now, if you want to worry about our own health and well-being, at least if you twist a knee, you twist an ankle, you step on a curb the wrong way, at least you've got somebody there that can help you, which I really haven't thought much about that at all. But it helps you to maintain a pace. So setting your pace and adjust your pace to stay in step with your friends. So whether you have a friend that's a faster walker or a slower walker. I know when I walk with Evelyn, sometimes she says to me, can you slow it down a little bit? And I say, I'll slow it down a step, you pick it up a step, and we support and coordinate with one another. Most of the time you walk with friends, you're challenging and coaching each other. You can challenge yourself by trying a different style of walking and note how long it usually takes to get from one point to another and see if you can maybe shave a minute off of it on your next walk out. I just thought this article was absolutely fantastic. Never did I stop to think about the benefits of talking and walking in terms of the physical movement and our body language as we're going along, but then being able to still have enough of oxygen to be able to push the walking pace, but also the ability to talk, which is also bringing oxygen through your lungs to be able to verbalize and have the conversation. And what the benefits were in terms of your facial expressions, your verbal reads and cues, your body language and what that does, and the connections that it's making to your mental fitness and your mental health. And of course, my Live with Tony broadcasts are always about what are the things we're doing to enhance our memories, as it just continues to be one of the hot topics of the world today. How do we maintain mental fitness in our memories as we get older? And how do we stay cognitively fit as we do get older? So the exercise we do, the socialization, my goodness, I've talked about that so many times. This is by far the Harvard Health Letter. Here we go. The Harvard Health Letter the June issue, Better Together, the Many Benefits of Walking with Friends. Have a pleasant weekend. Remember those that may be in your family and or friends that have sacrificed their lives on our freedoms in our behalf. And we'll see you back here. Now, Monday is Memorial Day. I don't think I've got any plans or not planning to be on my Live with Tony, so we should be able to have a nice, restful weekend, and we'll see. Maybe there's a barbecue in your life and a chance to get together with some friends, but we'll see you back here on Monday.